Welcome to That One Time in Business with me, your host, Casey Renee, a creative director and brand strategist who has 1,000,001 stories and lessons to share. Now remember, these are teachable moments with a twist and a laugh. So let's get started. Okay, so boom. Welcome back to That One Time in Business. When I worked with a dance company and learned a hard lesson about liaisons and contracts, okay? So let me paint the scene for you. I'm gonna paint this picture real nice for you. I used to dance when I was younger. Did I have a ballet body? No, but your girl could do a mean shuffle and a wing and I was a tap dancer. Like for real, like bringing the noise, bringing the funk shit. No, I'm dead ass though. Okay, so whenever I get the opportunity to work with like dance studios or things like that, I get really excited because I'm like, oh, I remember this on their little tippy toes and things like that. Like it's a thing for me. It's back down memory lane. All right, like that's how I feel. So I have a plethora of recreational sports, dance studios, things like that I work with. This one time in particular, I was creating a website design for this company. And in doing the website, it already took a lot to get there. We were in contact about inquiries and things like that, and it just didn't feel like a good fit. It might have been a financial thing for them. I can't speak for anybody's pockets. I'll never do that. But at the time, it just didn't work. So we tabled it, and I always kind of like touch base. So cut to maybe like 6 months from the first inquiry, we decided like, okay, you know what? This is a good fit for both of us. I have the time on my calendar. You ready? You trust me? Because of things like that I want people to understand is I know, and for branding and even any creative service industry, I know that these things are investments. And it's hard because it's not a tangible product. So some people can't equate the value of it. So I try to be very cognizant of something being expensive and trying to ensure like it's a smooth process and it's great customer service. It's a great product. Well, it is a product, but for them to utilize. And then I also want to make sure you get your money back in return on investment. That's really important, especially for what I do as a brand designer. So we was like, okay, this is a good fit. Do Casey like to do websites? Not so much. However, I have a team. I have a really, really, really great website designer on my team. But I definitely play creative director where I ensure and look at everything that is being done because my name is on the door. So I have to, do my checks. So we start the process of doing the website design. And it seemed to be kind of smooth. There was a liaison because I know owning your own business, you have to tend to the things. So they always say outsource and have other people run things that you can't. So this particular liaison was very responsive at first. Like it was great. It was actually a dream because if you've ever worked in groups of team, like for businesses or providing services, you can have people in the team randomly send you an email and you be like, wait, hold on. Like you need a liaison. Like that's a gem. You need a liaison when doing these type of things because you will have them, they cause confusion to the service provider. You can also mess around and get overcharged because it's like, I don't know who's talking to me, but you need this edit. That's fine. We're going to do it. But, you just need one person to keep account for everything that's going on. Okay. So the liaison for this situation was very sweet, very nice, pleasant, kind of short. You have to learn to adjust, and that's another gem. You have to learn how to adjust how some people want to contact. I'm very vocal, like, hey, I prefer email. I will schedule a call. And she was very guided, like, okay, I can do the emails and I can do the calls, like parallel to how we connect. So it worked out. So at the top of the process, it was really great. It was a dream. We were kind of flying through things. I am aware that this company, this dance company, they do a lot of things for the community and things like that. Things that you love. You love it. Love to see it. But it was starting to get a point where it started getting slow and I needed answers. So another thing that I have done, and this is a gem, in my contract, I have a rogue clause, meaning that if you go 7 days without communicating to me what you need done or any edits that need to be done, then I can bill you. And I'm not billing you because I just want my money, but I'm billing you because I don't know when you're going to come back. I'm not a priority, and that's fine, but I have a calendar and things that I need to upkeep. So that's why I have the clause, because I remember when I first started business and I was green, waiting for that last 50% was on their time, because I would have clients who could literally know that it's approved, but they don't have the money right now. But until the moment you had said approved, I was at your mercy. So I was like, oh no, the days of that are done. I don't give a fuck about your approved. You need to say something to me in 7 days. Now you can say to me, I need a little bit more time. You need to say anything, boo, whatever. You just need to say something to me. And then we will figure out accordingly. So her clause started to kick in. And I was like, where's her liaison? I have been really good at speaking with her. I wonder where she is. So at this time, my account manager is like, hey girl, where you at? This is why she's on this podcast, because now it goes left. So genuine concern starts to, mind you, we are in COVID. So general concern really starts to come over me. I'm a caring bitch, So I said, yo, are you good? Are you sick? I'm nervous, because when I tell you, it went from an email and I would get a response that night or the next day to emailing, and we're not hearing from her pockets of days. Then it went a week. Then one time it went a month. This is how long this project went on. Okay. So now you can start to paint the picture of why they're on this episode. So it started to linger, and I'm getting very concerned, to the point of, one thing that I do wrong, and I have to red flag myself, is I don't pick up the phone. I try to let everything be done, be email and paper, because I also believe in paper trails business. You really should. However, you have to pick up the phone. And I think this is a creative thing. A lot of creatives do not like to talk on the phone a lot. We talk to our friends, of course, and our family, but clients, we are not about, first of all, one, we don't want to talk to our clients all the time, because this sounds so bad. When you talk to your clients, you have this thing where you can't help it because you're in your zone of genius. So you start thinking of extra ideas for yourself. And then you subconsciously put more work on your plate. You're like, no, because they'll say one thing and then it sparks the idea, because the gears are always turning when you're like, oh, then this and then this. So and then two, I tried the friend thing with a client and it backfired. So I tried my hardest to now I do have friends that were clients, you know what I'm saying? And it went smoothly, but at that moment, I need you to focus on, I'm not your friend. This is a business transaction. That's really important to me in that moment. Now, when we close out and then we still on Instagram shooting the shit, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I have a client now, an old client now, who she's one of my favorite people, so it can happen. But in that moment, I need us to stay focused. So I was kind of scared to pick up the phone. So I was like, all right, Casey, you run a business. You really got to get this shit together. So I went ahead and I called her and I was like, hey, and she answered the phone and she was like, hey. And I was like, hey, it's Casey, Renee from XYZ. I just want to give you a call to make sure, are you okay? And she was like, what you mean? Why would I be okay? Why wouldn't I be okay? And I said, because I haven't heard from you in weeks or whatever. She was like, yeah, I got really busy around here. And I said, okay, well, first and foremost, I'm glad that you're okay. Let's not be an asshole. I really am glad, because my whole thing is, I called you. The first thing I said, I didn't say you owe me money. The first thing I said to you was, are you okay? So your tone should have changed. So that kind of fucked me up a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you. That shit just fucked me up. I was like, whoa.
Today's forecast, we can clearly see that somebody got me fucked up.
I almost called you a bitch. But I didn't. So I was a little pissed about that. And then I was like, okay, well, you're good. And I said, well, we need some information from you to finish up, your scope. And she was like, well, I'll get it to you. We busy. I said, okay, well, in the between time, I'm about to send you the invoice, because if y'all not about to give me the stuff, y'all got to pay out. And she was like, where's that in your terms and conditions? Oh, say less. This is Casey 2021. It's in my terms and conditions. You didn't get the Casey 2016, okay? I was like, oh, okay, here you go. I'll send it to you. So I had my account manager. She sent it over to her and reiterated like, hey, your shit is due. And I was talking to my account manager. And I was like, and then, she picked up the phone and was like, like what? Like, I care about your well-being, miss. Anyway, that shit still to this day, like, fucks me up.
To this day?
Like, damn, I did a wellness check on you. Anyway, so she sees the term. She said, okay, I'll get you the information. And then she says, well, I know some of the information we're not going to be able to get to you, so I'm just going to approve it. Baby, if you own a business and it's anything that needs to be approvals, once somebody says the word approved, that's all you need, baby. That's legal. That's all you need. Once that word approved hits, I can charge you anything after. If you make me open it, I can take you to court. I can do anything I need to because you said approved. I did not coerce you to say it. You typed it. And I have the email. So I was like, say less. So my account manager was like, she's an idiot. Now we just bill her. Like, now she really can't get out of her invoice where she should have just waited. She said the word. So we sent her the thing and I said, we do tutorials when we're done. So we do tutorials of the website. So we were doing a tutorial of the website and I said, you need your tutorial for the website. We'll do it, schedule it after you get paid. All right, baby. And this is when the fun starts right here. So the actual owner then decides to finally interject because I don't know where she's been. Granted, that's fine. She finally interjects and was like, I don't feel comfortable giving you this money and we don't have the tutorial. Well, the website's done. She's approved it. I'm not giving you a tutorial so you can know what to do and run off. That's passwords and stuff. Absolutely not. Pay up or whatever. She was like, I don't feel comfortable. Can we get on the phone? Cool, we can get on the phone. And baby, this is where this conversation, I just do not understand. You already had me waiting for God know how long for this stuff. You get on the phone and you tell me, first of all, you really contradicted yourself this whole phone conversation. You tell me, I understand business and I understand your business. I'm not trying to run your business, but I think that you should do this. So now you're trying. This isn't even like a suggestion because you're also telling me what you're not going to do. So I literally was like, I have a good contract. You don't want to do this? That's fine. I sent her a nice email and I said, nasty email. And I said, what will happen from this point on is you have 7 days to pay me or I'm erasing everything. And I have the legal, like I have means to do this. Like I won't be wronged because in my contract, you had 7 days and you said approved. So from the approved, I actually can now start getting you late fees because once you're late 3 days, it's 20%. So now once you said approved, technically it's not even just the standard one. I can now bill you every 3 days. So you about to rack up. See, this ain't the same Casey from the first episode, babies. If y'all listening, this podcast gonna go through growth, okay? So I was ready. And I was like, all right, well, you got 7 days. Day 4, she was like, we need to talk. I said, okay. What we want to talk about? We talking about how you about to pay this bill? She goes, it's not that I don't have it. I don't care if you don't have it. And then she goes, I just think that it's unfair that you did not finish out. Okay, so now it leads me to believe you didn't really read your information at the beginning because I told you the process is the steps. I tell you when payment and needs to be surrendered and I tell you the steps after it. So that also makes me feel like business owner, you did not read it. And come on, business owners, like I get so mad and so upset, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one saying this, but when businesses work to other businesses and they like shit on a business, I just be so dumbfounded. Like, do you want this to happen in return? Because baby, I believe in karma. And I'm like, do you really want this kind of shit back in return to somebody do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It is crazy. Then she says, she said, I thought I had 30 days to give you feedback and stuff. I'm like, what are you reading? Where did you get this stuff from? So that kind of annoys me because yes, I want you to sign off on your contracts so we can get started, but I also want you to read them because if you don't agree with something that's going on, you need to understand and something we have a conversation I can articulate or something later on. But when money is owed and people start to battle contracts, that is the most fucking infuriating shit ever. It is so annoying because it's like you literally had this document at this point, you had this document for months. And you're now trying to battle me about this document. Just read it from the beginning. Ask the questions. Ask her what the process is. Here's the thing. I know I told her the process because it's part of my whole spiel. Okay. So I know I verbally said it, but you hear what you want to hear. And businesses to businesses have to stop that. Like it's, you look crazy. Anyway, I digress. So, I was still within my rights and she was just like, I'm not doing it.
You know you done fucked up, right?
Baby, when I tell you, day 6 and 11 hours came around and I literally got an email that said Dubsado payment. She waited literally to the last minute to pay it before I deleted that fucking site. And I was not joking. I was going to delete it. You know how some people, they be like, I'm going to do it and they bluffing. No, I was going to fucking delete that shit. She paid me the very last minute. And you know why I think she paid me last minute? Because I know for a fact she probably went around and asked people, like, can she legally do this? And they were like, yeah, she can. She can delete your site and she don't owe you, and she don't have to refund you nothing or anything because she did the work. You approved it. You decided not to pay. She owns it. If she owns it, she can do what the fuck she want with it. And I think she realized like she didn't have a leg to stand on. So she went ahead and was like, fuck it, let me pay for it. So what did I learn from this situation? I learned that business owners, I will no longer, and I hope you don't either, if they do not have a proper liaison, a responsive liaison, and that's some questions now I ask. Your liaison, what's her business hours? Or him or her, what's their business hours? What does their communications look like? What's the best way? I've learned to do that with them. So that way there's no, also my contracts, I have you sign it, but now I have you initial certain spots. So I did end up doing that where it's like, all right, there's certain parts of the contract. So you can sign the contract in whole, but to get past the window to submit it, we're going even down to paragraphs because what you're not going to do is try this shit later. I'm like, no. Section 3.4, your initials are right here. Now, if you didn't read that, that's on you, Becky. You know what I'm saying? I got shit for you. So that's another thing I learned. Also, another thing that I learned is that business owners, and I myself included, we, in picking these said liaisons, we also have to make sure that we are checking in with them because this whole story that I told you how the owner randomly popped up. I would really bet that she didn't know a lot of shit that was going on. Like, I really feel like she was not within the know because that was not my first interaction with her. And it just kind of felt like it just was unusual for her, So those are the things that I learned. I mean, you could take any other gems that you want to, and I hope you don't have stories that look just like that. But not even to the owner. I'm going to go to the liaison this time. So that one time in business, what I learned is, dear liaisons or just clients in general,
pay me what you want me. Don't act like you forgot. Bitch, better have my money.
If I fucking call you and ask you how you're doing as a wellness check, because I actually give a fuck about you and you get an attitude, I don't know how, but there's going to be some way I'm going to find a way and a loophole to get you off my motherfucking roster because I don't do that was disrespectful. I hope you're good now. And I hope you get your attitude in check. Do better. All right. Goodbye.